the controversy statement between me and Mike McCarthy. And first and foremost, if anyone ever felt a type of way about this situation, I would like to apologize like I did when I met with Coach McCarthy, apologize to his face, man to man. Um, you know, whether people understood what I said and didn't, this is why we're here. Obviously, I said Mike can leave and go wherever he wants. I kind of feel bad for guys like Zach Martin, guys who be on their last year on their way up because that's who I want to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things for those type of legends who put more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. When I say statements like that, and when I put things like that, thinking about my teammates, right? I understand the coaching aspect, but when you think of guys like Zach Martin, I think of guys like DeMarcus Lawrence. Before Tyron left, I think of guys like Tyron Smith. I think of guys like Zeke. I mean, you can even go way back to I never played with Jason Witten, but think about Jason Witten. Every day you look at all these legends who put in so much time and work into the blue and white with the Cowboys. They represent how they represented the Dallas Cowboys. Even DeMarcus Ware. You think about all these great legends. And fortunate enough, I got to play with quite a few. I'm still playing with CeeDee Lamb. I'm still playing with Zach Martin. But when I think about all those guys that helped me get better, helped me grow as a player, how much Zach helped me with my technique, critiqued me, even when I was wrong, helped me get better. Guys like Tyron, Dak, Zeke, guys that kind of molded me into the player I am. And, kind of took this young rookie guy that, and kind of helped move me to a place where some would say a superstar, but I would say still a humbling beginning to be able to be on the same playing field as those guys and understanding that since I've been in the league every year, a team changes, right? There's never going to be the same amount of players. Not the same amount of players, the same players on the same team. There'll be a couple that come back because obviously cap reasons, you got to pay guys retire. But since I've been, MG retired. Obviously we let him go, but MG retired. But all those great players that I didn't even think we would lose Tyron. So you just play with so many great players. You never know when it's going to be their last year. I understand that guy like Zach's in his last year of his deal. He could look at retirement. I don't know yet. But obviously we understand how much time he's put into this into Dallas Cowboys. He's a legend. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He just done so many great things. So when I think about guys who I want to win a title for, he's at the top of my list. When Tyron's here, I want to win a title for him and Zach. So it just didn't matter to me about the player. It just didn't matter about the importance and how much, they bring to the program. These guys have just been always true leaders, always been devoted to helping everyone grow. So to me, and it has nothing to do with coaching, right? I look at a situation like, Dan, Dan's like an uncle to me. And at the end of the day, Dan can always do what's best for him. I always knew he was a great coach. I never questioned his coaching ability, but, he decided to take on a better job. Who knows at the end of this year, Mike is one of the most winningest coaches in NFL history. And that's the God honest truth. We went 12-5 3 years in a row. That don't happen because Mike's a bad coach, because he's a good coach. And just because one person has trial and error in 1 year, that just doesn't define him. So it honestly hurts me to read these clippings of Rex Ryan and Damian Woodard, and we're gonna pull them up because it just honestly is infuriating. So let's pull up this clip from Rex Ryan.
Doesn't deserve that. Mike McCarthy, no coach deserves that, because the hours, trust me, my friend, the hours this guy's putting in, no player is putting in the work that a head coach is, I can assure you. And look, you can have some private issue, all right? Go to the owner, go to whoever, go to Mike McCarthy. But why the hell do you think you need to say that why do you need to hurt this man? Who do you think gets blamed for everything? He gets it anyway. And so why are you piling on? All right, yeah, dead man walking. Yeah, he is. But you know what? He's professional as hell. He hadn't once blamed a damn player, ever. It's bullshit.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that, and I'm not the least bit uncomfortable with you using that word, because that is exactly what it actually is. And Dan, you were making the comment a moment.
Greeny, I've never heard anyone say anything remotely like that after a game. I really have. And, like, who the hell Michael Parsons think he is talking like that after a game? Bro, you've been missing all these games with the injury. And last time I checked, the head coach is a Super Bowl winning coach. And I know the season hasn't gone the way that everyone is expected to go and all that. But for you to sit there in the locker room right after your team gets pummeled and to just undress your head coach in that manner, see, that's what's going on with all these podcast boys out here in the locker room. Everybody wants to sit there and they want to, spout and say all this type of stuff. There used to be a time when there was a little bit of respect, a little decorum in the locker room, because at the end of the day, it was about we didn't do enough. All of y'all got your asses kicked. Okay, and you're going to go out here and talk about your head coach, basically your head coach not working, not doing anything to try to prepare the team? I just think it's a bunch of BS, man. Yeah. I really do. I like, we can sit here and laugh and all that type of stuff and be here in shock, but that's disrespectful what Micah Parsons did to Mike McCarthy in that situation, because I know, again, it's not the results that Mike McCarthy wants, but I know that man is busting his ass every single day to try to go out there and get a win, and to hear one of your star players come out there and say that. Yeah. Come on, man. Like, I can't ride with.
And at the end, a guy like Woody, right, a former player, he's a Super Bowl champ, he should know the significance of, one, throwing out someone's injury. Like, I wanted to get injured. Now, that's blatant disrespect. I've never missed a game in my career, not college, not high school, not even to about 4 or 5 weeks ago to injury. To say that I'm just missing games because of injury, like it's just some injury after I suffered a significant injury playing the game that we love, someone who's been around teams and legends at that can say, like, that's how I know we all have to see through the BS of what these TV analysts are trying to do and, provide us and basically take words I never once threw or even intended to throw Mike McCarthy under the bus. Like I said, he's one of the most winningest coach. He is a Super Bowl champ. I never once brung up his past. And the question that was asked was about here in the Dallas Cowboys, did I see Mike McCarthy in our future? And I said, that's above my pay grade. So never once did I ever intended or wanted to reflect on Mike McCarthy's career, because I always knew it was a good one. I've always had a great relationship with Mike McCarthy, and I never even put that in question. And for a guy like Rex Ryan, I just know he wanted to coach the Cowboys. Like, I'm perfectly happy that we have Zimmerman, because if we have a guy that's willing to go on TV and provide this type of nonsense, imagine what he could do to a locker room. Like, that's just honestly just outrageous to me at the end of the day. Like I said, man, when you play football, all coaching aside, and you can look at college, you can look at even the pros, coaches are, their careers are way longer. They can decide to take a better job. They can move on. You kind of see that a lot from DCs, OCs, head coaching positions. Sometimes better job openings just open up. And you truly never know. You never know how the dice is going to roll with coaches. But when you talk about guys you consistently going to war with, man, like guys that I seen Tyron and Zach barely can walk throughout the week, take a Toradol, go out there and play, being half a man basically and giving us our best effort. So when you see those type of things, you see guys pushing through injuries, pushing through just so much difficulty it is to play in this league. Yes, 100%. Every time I'm going to always choose the brother that we're going to bleed with, we're going to work with, because in the end, it's only a small group of us, There is no politics out there on that football field. I understand what he meant to the Dallas Cowboys organization, because I'm only worried about what happens at the Dallas organization, man. And, it truly bothers me how much negativity that we choose to put out there. Because not once did I want this quote to be a negative moment. I only want it to be a positive light and shine light on guys like Zach Martin, who may or may not be a Cowboy next year, but is going to be a Ring of Honor guy, a Hall of Fame guy, and that just know that he just added so much value to the Cowboys that will be missed. And, and there's plenty of guys to go along that list, man. And, I just wanted to highlight. And then I look at D-Law, man. He's going to his last year, too. How much D-Law helped me grow. How much he helped me grow into being a player I am today and being a big brother, whether it's on or off the field. giving me his wisdom, his tricks of the trade of how he lasted so long, man. Like, people don't get it, bro. Like, those relationships that you build with those guys in the locker room, it's nothing like the coaches. Yeah, coaches is always going to have their favorites of some, superstar level guys and have certain relationship with certain players. But that relationship in the locker room is completely different. And unless you actually played on a team or actually had you played in sports growing up, you would never know. Like, some of my best friends to this day are people that I still play football with. So people, unless you truly play the sport, you would never understand where I was trying to come with that, because those relationships and the impact that people make on your lives in that locker room, it just goes such a long way. It really does. So the intent, whether it came out right or wrong, and maybe I should expand it, and I made the mistake, and I apologize publicly to Mike McCarthy. You should never compare coach to player, but I wasn't trying to compare that. I was just literally trying to ignite, someone who meant a lot to me's career, and that's who I kind of have more sympathy for. If he retires, he'll never play this game again. And me knowing how good of a coach McCarthy is, he'll probably get another opportunity, if not with us. So, that stuff really bothers me. I can't even lie to you. And I'm thankful that I have this platform, because people would take your words and twist them and find ways to use them against you. Because, I think that's the importance of players having platforms, so you can fight against this negativity that people put out. Never once do I ever want to bring drama, anything that's not focused on football, to my football team. At the end of the day, like I said, we've been winners. We're going through trial and error. There's been a lot of injuries. We're missing a lot of starters, and it's showing, man. But never will I ever want to bring negativity to the man that gave me an opportunity. Mike was one of the first people to call me, saying from a PA guy to another, welcome me with open arms, man. I would never want to rain on his parade, man. He was one of the first people that helped drafted me to the Cowboys, and from Pittsburgh, PA to Harrisburg. No, you just don't do that to Berg boys. I would never intentionally do that. So as long as I felt like I needed to get off my chest, because it left a distaste in my mouth, because how much Mike means to me, how much this team means to me, and I never want to bring that type of drama to my unit at all. And and that's all I'm gonna say on it, man. I hope people understand what I mean to it. But people shouldn't do that, man. Take your words and try to use them against you like that, and understand the meaning. I'm always gonna put players first, man. That's who it's about. These people every day, we risk their lives on Sundays to play this game, and you push through a lot. It to me, it's always going to be the players, man. You can't do it without the players. Nah, man. That's just wrong. And from a former coach and a former player who played 12 years, I would think they would understand more and do more to bring out the positivity of the statement, not negativity. But like I said, I get what drives ratings. I get it. But it's just not right.